Okay, so this is a phrase for from the book. So I love this phrase, guys. I love this phrase. Maybe we will discuss about it in a future class. And today I had a Kahoot ready, but I know maybe internet is not that stable right now, so we are going to leave this for tomorrow. I hope the weather is better for everyone tomorrow. So we are going to get started with the class right away, and we are starting Unit 4 today. Sorry, and we are starting Unit 4 today. What is the name of this unit? Well, the name is Hit the Road, okay? And we have some objectives for this class, okay? I need a volunteer to read the objectives, please. A volunteer to read the objectives for this unit.
Okay, me, objectives. 1, participants will be able to describe vacation plans. 2, participants will be able to give travel advice and recommendations. And number 3, participants will be able to ask and to give travel suggestions.
Okay, Nelson, thank you so much. Yes, those are the 3 objectives, guys, for this unit. We are going to try to cover all of them. And, well, we have this. Look at these 4 pictures. Not pictures, they are videos, but because of the internet connection we have right now, maybe they are not loading. But guys, tell me, which of these places is your dream place right now? 1, 2, 3, or 4. Where would you like to be at?
4.
Number 4. Okay. What about number 1? Or number 3? What do you think? Okay. In my case, I would like to try number 1. Yes, I don't know why. Maybe I don't know. I imagine a river nearby and just be relaxing there. So I think number 1 is cool. It's out of the ordinary. Okay. So guys, now we have another question. And I beg your participation for the question. The question is, what should we do before traveling to a foreign country? Okay, what should we do before traveling to a foreign country, guys? What do you
Do a
think?
plan.
Do a plan? Okay. Oh, you should have a plan. Okay. All right, that's cool. What else?
Yeah. Think about the things that you want to do in that travel and how you're going to do it.
Okay. Yes, this is definitely something you want to do. Okay. Think about where I can go in this place. How money do I need to do everything? What else? What else?
I was going to say that one thing that it has to be done is save enough money.
Save enough money. Exactly. That's another one. Save enough money. So you should save enough money. Perfect. What else? Okay, let's see the chat. Book the hotel or the Airbnb. That is an important one, of course. Book the hotel. Okay, one more before we move on. One more.
Prepare a budget.
Okay, you have to have a budget. Listen, you have to have a budget. Okay, perfect. Right? So, guys, those are some traveling advices that you are sharing with the class. Remember, one of the objectives was to give advices for your vacations. So the topic for today, or the grammatical topic for today, is modal verbs. Okay, modal verbs. Now I want a reader.
Me.
Hey, Daniel.
Modal verbs. We use modal verbs to express abilities, possibilities, obligation, advice, and permission. They behave differently from other verbs.
Okay, thank you. Perfect. Yes. Remember, guys, with modal verbs, we express a function. Example, we can express abilities. We can express possibilities, obligation, advice, suggestions, permission. Okay, with modal verbs. This is the first thing. When you think about modal verbs, think about functions, special functions that we want to express. Then, second important thing, and this is just in general, they behave differently from other verbs. Why do you think they behave differently from other verbs, guys? What are some of the characteristics for the modal verbs? What do you think? What do you know about modal verbs? No idea? Hey, that's great because that means we are going to learn a lot. Oh, Daniel, sorry.
I was going to say that you can use them as maybe an auxiliary verbs.
Okay. Okay. They are not auxiliary verbs. They can be used as the main verb of the sentence, or they are used just to express something. Okay, in a certain way. That otherwise, if we wouldn't have modal verbs, it would be difficult for us to do that. So let's go ahead and see some of the basic rules. And thank you so much, Daniel. Here we have it, guys. Basic rules. We have three basic rules that we need to follow to avoid making mistakes with modals. Okay, we have number one. Okay, so for number one, I'm going to give you, or I'm going to give it to someone. Okay, that person will read this number one rule and you have to memorize it. All right, someone else will memorize the second rule and someone else will keep the third rule. At the end of the class, I'm going to ask you for your specific rule. Okay, so we are going to start with number one. Number one is for Nelson. This is your rule, Nelson. You keep it for yourself and then you will share this with the class. Please read this and these two and then tell me which one of these two sentences is the correct one. Nelson? Okay,
Could be the rain.
Sorry?
Could be the rain.
Could be the rain. Okay, not a problem. So let's listen to Daniel. Daniel, number one, then is going to be your rule.
Okay. Rule number 1. They don't change. Present, past, future. And the correct sentence is she can play the piano.
Okay, thank you so much. That is the correct one. Thank you, Daniel. Yeah, this one is incorrect. Why? Because we are conjugating the verb here. She can. Oh, because she is third person, we add s to the verb. Not in this case. Why? Because modal verbs, they behave different. Okay, so we don't have to add an s or the ing form, or you cannot add the ed. So you cannot say she is canning or she can in the past. No, they do not conjugate. Perfect. Is rule number one clear? If it is clear, you can tell me yes, or you can put this sign. Just let me know this is completely clear. Or if you have questions, let me know.
All is clear, teacher.
Great. Thank you. This is number one. Let's move on with number two. Perfect. Number two, the keeper for the rule number two she is scanning. Yeah, it's not possible. Um, auxiliary verbs, we are going to check on that. Okay. And number two will be for
me, I'm going to continue.
Okay.
Number two, it says use base verbs after modals. And for me, the correct one is the first one. They can swim.
Okay, very good. And what are the base verbs? It's just the verb without to, without ing, anything. The base form of the verb is go, play, study, just the word, the verb, without anything else. Perfect. Okay. And now, guys, let me tell you, this Nelson will be your rule. Okay. Keep this one. I'm going to ask you for this later in the class. And the next one is for Leonardo. Leonardo, please help me with number 3.
Use not after a modal. Don't use don't, go on, didn't, etc. etc. I don't know. How can I say that? And the correct is the first one.
The first one, okay? Yes, the first one is the correct one. Okay? The first one is the correct one. Perfect. All right. So you should not. Okay? You should not. You can not. You may not. So we are going to use not for the negative form. You don't should drink Coke. This one is incorrect. Okay? This one is incorrect. We will not use don't, won't, didn't with modals. Perfect. Okay. Guys, before we move on, do we have questions about these 3 rules? Questions? No? Okay. Why, guys, do we have this sign here? Because there are exceptions. We are going to learn about the exceptions in, well, in a couple of minutes. But, okay, so number rule was for Daniel. Number 2 was for um, Nelson, and number 3 for Leo. Keep them, guys. I will ask that I will ask you for them at the end of the class. Okay, perfect. Now we are going to watch a video in which we are going to learn more about these modal verbs. Okay, please, because I know some of you are visual learners, so that's why I brought a video. So please, guys, pay attention to this.
Modal verbs. Type modal verbs. Examples: ability, permission, advice, obligation, possibility, can, could. David can speak 3 languages. He could speak fluent French when he was 5. Can, could, or may. Can I sit in that chair, please? Could I open the window? May I borrow your dictionary? Should. You should visit your dentist at least twice a year. You should try to lose weight. Must or have to. I must memorize all of these rules about tenses. You have to take off your shoes before you get into the mosque. Might, may, could, or can. It looks nice, but it might be very expensive. Richard may be coming to see us tomorrow. Modal verbs asking permission. Modal verbs asking permission. Informal. Can. Can I borrow your pen for a minute? Can I speak to John Wilson? Polite. Could. Could I please have a glass of beer? Could I open the window? Formal. May. May I ask a question, please? May we go home now? Polite. Would. Would you mind if I asked you something?
Hey, great. So tell me, guys, what did you learn from the video? What are some modal verbs to express ability in English?
Can and could.
Okay, can and could. Perfect. And we use can or could for ability. What is the difference? Can is in present. Okay. Could is in the past. That is for ability only because we can use could for other functions. Example, permission. Could I sit here? Could I sit here? In that case, could is not in the past. Could is just the modal verb that we are using for permission, which is a little bit more formal than can. Okay. So, what else, guys? What did you learn? What else? Or which is the, or what are the modal verbs that you use the most in your day-to-day life? What is the top one? The most used one? Nelson, tell me, which one is the one that you use the most in your speech?
Well, the most common for me is can or could.
I
Those are
can.
the most common in my speech.
Right, very good. Also, do you guys use may or no? May or
I use may, but I learned that because in the sentence may go to the bathroom.
okay?
So this is the
And
unique moment that I use that.
yes, exactly. And what is the difference between may and can? Can I go to the bathroom? May I go to the bathroom? What's the difference?
It's more polite.
It's more polite, okay? That's why teachers teach it in that way. May I go to the bathroom? May I come in? All right, very good. Okay, so those are some modal verbs for permission: can, could, and may. The difference is that may is more polite. All right, good. What about advice? Which one do we use for advice?
True.
Should. Right? Hey, before traveling to a different country, you should book your hotel room. You should. This is an advice. Perfect. All right. And which ones do we use for obligation, guys?
Must
Must
or have to.
or have to. All right. Very good. Is there any difference between must and have to?
I learned that the meaning is the same, but this is the difference because one is the should is like if you can, and must is obligation.
Both of them. Thank you, Leonardo. Yes, could or should is exactly. Should is an advice, but it's not an obligation. Hey, you should go to the doctor. That's not an obligation. I'm giving you the advice. But must and have to both express obligation. But what is the difference? Number one, must is like any other regular verb. Must not. You cannot use mustin. But with have to, you will not say haven't to. Hey, you haven't to go. No, you will use don't want. Hey, you don't have to. So the rule number 3. Who has the rule number 3, guys?
Me.
Leonardo, tell us the rule number 3.
Use not after a modal.
Use not after the modal. In this case, we are not following this rule. We will not say have not. All right? We will not say that. We will say you don't have to, and then the rest of the phrase. Okay. And also, and I'm ending the class with this, guys. We are going to continue tomorrow, but the difference between must and have to, and this is not an obligation to know this, is that must is when the obligation doesn't come from you. Example, I must do my homework. I'm not obligating myself to do my homework. My teacher is obligating me to do my homework. So the obligation doesn't come from me. If you go to the park, it says there, you must keep your dog outside this area. You must. It's an obligation, but that obligation is not coming from you. That comes from external. But we have to, hey, I have to work hard. That is an obligation that is coming from you. I have to get up early every day because I have to work. That obligation comes from you. That is the difference. Another difference is that must is stronger than have to. Okay, the obligation with must is like a rule, like the classroom rules. You must bring your homework every day. Okay, good. Right, guys, before we dismiss, we are going to continue tomorrow. Do you have any question that cannot wait for tomorrow?
No, teacher. Thank you.
I think everything is okay. Thank you.
Okay, perfect. So if that is the case, guys, sorry, I'm kind of sick today. I hope to be better tomorrow, and I hope to see you tomorrow. Everyone, we are going to play a Kahoot tomorrow that I had ready for today, but we are moving the activity for tomorrow with many other things. I hope to see you tomorrow, guys.
See you tomorrow. Have a good night.
See you
Goodbye.
tomorrow.
Goodbye.